Some places just have a vibe, an energy that you can feel before you even step inside. The Screaming Tunnel in Ontario isn't just another abandoned railroad passage, it's a place where people claim to hear blood-curdling screams, see shadowy figures, and experience something, let's just say unnatural. But here's the twist. Scientists and skeptics say it's all in your head. So what's the truth? We're going to break it down with forensics analysis, psychological profiling, and real witness testimonies. Welcome to the Vault File. So let's investigate this. So let's go. Screaming Tunnel, okay? It sits just outside of Niagara Falls, deep in the woods, hidden along a forgotten stretch of railway, all right? It's a short, dark passage made of limestone. But if you believe the stories, this isn't just a tunnel. It's a portal to something else. For over 100 years, locals and visitors have claimed that if you step inside at midnight and light a match, an unseen force will blow it out, followed by a scream that echoes through the tunnel walls. We're not just here to tell ghost stories, though. We're breaking down the forensic evidence, scientific explanations, and psychological factors that might explain what's really going on inside the Screaming Tunnel. So is this a trick of the mind, or is this something reaching out from the darkness? Let's dig in. Let's get into the historical context. Before the hauntings, before the legends, the Screaming Tunnel was simply a drainage passage built in the early 1900s to channel water beneath a set of railroad tracks. But this isn't just an old abandoned structure. It has a dark history that may have fueled the paranormal legends. One of the most famous stories is that of a young girl who met a horrific fate. Some versions of it say she escaped a burning house running through the tunnel before collapsing, her body engulfed in flames. Others claim her own father set her on fire inside the tunnel in a fit of rage. But the truth, there is no official records of a child, being gone there by any fire, but local police reports do confirm that there were several unsolved unalivings, I guess we'll call them here, near the tunnel in the early 1900s, including a train accident, several train accidents actually, and at least one body discovered in the woods nearby. So, could these real tragedies be the root of these ghost stories, or is there another explanation for what people claim to hear and feel inside of the tunnel? So let's break this down forensic style. What really happened when people lit the match and heard a scream? Let's break this down. So first, the match test. You have hundreds of people claim that they've stepped inside, struck a match, and before they could react, the flame was blown out. There was no wind, no draft, it was just gone. All right. So science tells us that the tunnel structure creates a wind tunnel effect. So air from both ends meet in the middle, creating a sudden gust of strong enough wind to extinguish an open flame. Obviously, that's just physics. But here's the catch. Paranormal investigators have tested this with covered flames, wind-resistant lighters, and even digital meters to measure the airflow, and in some cases, the flames still went out without explanation. Then we got the EVPs, which are electronic voice phenomena, where ghost hunters have recorded distorted voices, whispers, and even what sounds like a woman crying for help. Could this just be radio interference, audio issues, or our brains even just trying to make sense out of random sounds because we like to hear patterns, or could this be something else? And then we got the shadow figures. Multiple visitors claim they've seen a small dark silhouette at the end of the tunnel, only for it to disappear when approached. Thermal cameras have detected unexplained heat signatures, but skeptics say it's just shadows from passing cars reflecting off of the walls. So what's more likely, paranormal energy or tricks of the light and sound? Let's keep going. Let's break this down more. We got the paranormal theory here. If we take the reports at face value, the Screaming Tunnel could be a residual haunting, meaning the energy from past trauma has been imprinted onto the location. We're playing like an old recording, and it just keeps playing over and over again. This aligned with EVP evidence, temperature drops, and consistent reports of disembodied voices. Then we have the psychological theory that fear and expectation play a huge role in this. The power of suggestion is like an actual thing. It's a big deal. It's real. So when people expect to hear a scream, their brains are more likely to interpret random noises as something supernatural. And in the tunnel's acoustics and even distant sounds, they echo in a way that makes them sound really eerie. Then we got theory number 3, which is environmentals. It's just environmental situations. Let's talk the infrasound, low frequency sound waves that are below human hearing range but can still affect us. Studies show that exposure to infrasound can cause nausea, unease, hallucinations, and even the sensation of being watched. The tunnel's shape and materials could be creating a natural infrasound chamber, which makes sense. And then we have the wind tunnel and structural echoes theory. As many mentioned earlier, the tunnel's open end creates air pressure changes that could explain the match going out and then a sudden burst of cold air. And let's not forget, Niagara Falls is less than 10 miles away, a location known for powerful electromagnetic shifts that some paranormal researchers believe can enhance ghostly activity. So, is this place haunted? Or is it the perfect storm of science, psychology, and history colliding in a way that messes with our senses? So here's where I stand. If you strip away the ghost stories, the screaming and in the tunnel is the Screaming Tunnel is still one of the most unsettling locations in Canada, though. Is it the wind tunnel effect? Is that real? Absolutely. Can infrared cause feelings of paranoia? For sure. But what about the recorded voices, the heat signatures, and the consistent witness reports that match across decades of reports? I will say this, though, whether it's a ghost, a psychological trick, or an unstudied environmental anomaly, the Screaming Tunnel has earned its reputation as one of the most chilling places in North America. So, if you ever find yourself outside of Niagara Falls at night, step inside, light a match, see what happens. Don't forget to record that for clout as well. All right. So yeah, let's hear your theories below. What do you think? Science or spirits? Drop your theories, please, below. We need to know. And if you want to hear uncensored ghost stories and deeper investigations, you can join us on Patreon for exclusive case files at patreon.com/filmarch. It's also in this thumbnail. And also don't forget to follow us on TikTok, obviously here, and Instagram. And obviously our YouTube. Our YouTube's really big. We're getting there. And just remember that the truth is out there and we're just getting started.